We are glad to have you here celebrating the International Women's Day for the year 2025 here with us in Thomas Adewumi University. I'm happy that I'm here, and I'm also happy that you are also here. If you're happy to be a woman, a female, I believe you should be happy to be here. So once again, I welcome you all. Thanks for coming, and I believe it's going to be a worthwhile period together. Thank you so much for coming. So this year, 2025, the theme for the International Women's Day that we are celebrating today, Invest in Women, Accelerate Action. We have lined up programs. We are expecting our guest speaker, the keynote speaker, a renowned professor. We're going to have panel discussion. There's time for games. Then our health will not be left untouched. Yes. It's going to, and there's also something by the side there. Menu. Yes, so there's a lot to do within these 2 hours. Yes. And before we continue, I want to say a big thank you, and I want you to join me to say a big thank you to our own very mentor, our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Francisca Oladipo. Thank you very much, ma. Thank you. Thank you for taking our SSCs. Thank you for this event. We are very grateful, ma. Thank you very much, ma. So before we move to other things, let's take a brief opening prayer by the bossa of the institution, Mrs. Rachel Afolabi. Thank you, ma.
Let us pray. Our most righteous God in heaven, we are grateful unto you for this afternoon. We bless your name, Lord, for the privilege you've given unto us to gather together as a women in this organization. We appreciate you, Lord, because of your faithfulness over our lives all this year. We pray you accept all our thanks and praises in Jesus' name. Divine Father in heaven, we pray that all that we are going to listen to this afternoon, we ask, Father, Lord, that we impact our life positively and our homes, our states, our nation, and the world as a whole. We feel the impact positively in the mighty name of Jesus. We pray, Divine Father in heaven, that we are going to use this avenue to change our orientations, to change our notions, to change everything about us positively in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, because you've answered our prayers. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Thank you very much, ma. We are grateful. So quickly, I'd like to introduce we are all important. So yes, I want to introduce some people to us. I know you have seen some people for the first time. You don't know them. Firstly, the Vice-Chancellor, Thomas Adewumi University, who is a woman. We are happy. You know, when there's women, when women are in the leadership role, when they are heading things, there's no how that place must, there must be one sensible, one fine touch. Yes. She's a visionary. She's a go-getter. And I'm proud that I'm working under her. She's a mentor indeed. Thank you very much, ma. Madam Vice-Chancellor, we are grateful. Yes, we have one Balogun here. Balogun. Balogun lẹ́yìn ọgbà is yes to give us morale so that we'll not be afraid like, what's happening? Tamen. The registrar is here. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Akolawole Fisoye, thank you for coming. Thank you for the help. Yes, he did some underground help for us. We are grateful. Thank you, sir. Then we have the boss of this great institution. A woman again. Please, let's give her a resounding applause. Well done, ma'am. We celebrate you today. Mrs. Afolabi Rachel, thank you. We have our mommy here, Mommy Fashiku. Thank you for coming. We are grateful, ma. Yes, then we have our mommy all the way from the primary school, the headmistress, Thomas Adewumi Nursery and Primary School. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. Thank you, ma. We have the TAU Welfare Mama. Thank you, ma. Mrs. Omolara Rosoni. Thank you very much, ma. We have everybody here is important. Everybody. I cannot begin to mention everybody. I want to thank people from Prime Time. Thank you, Mrs. Taiwo. Thank you for coming. Mrs. Baba Femi. Thank you. Auntie, pardon me. Thank you for coming. Our colleagues from the other campus, thank you for coming. We are indeed grateful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Gentlemen of the press, thank you very much. ICT Director and his team, thank you. Mr. Sheon Ayola and his team, thank you very much. Thank you for identifying with us. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Where is the stage? Where are you? The staging area? Is it okay here or there? Here. Our distinguished speaker is online. Can you please let us hear from you, Mark? Let's hear you to show that you're already with us. Yes, we know you are online, but we have started the program, but we don't want to go too far with Professor Chinedum
Yes, I am online.
Thank you so much, Ma. So we commenced the
online.
program, yes, ma, 8 minutes ago, and we have had the opening prayers, and we've had a brief introduction. Hopefully you still get to meet some of the members of the TAU women community. But I've been called to give a kind of a short.
I need to increase my volume.
We hear you clearly, Ma.
Your volume.
Do you hear us?
I'm barely hearing you.
Okay, Adeola,
yeah, I'm trying to increase my volume.
Okay, Ma, can you increase your volume now?
Go on. I mean,
volume check.
I'll sort it out.
Volume check. Do you hear us well, Ma?
Yeah, I'm hearing now.
Clearly. Okay, thank you so much, Ma. Our most distinguished speaker, my very own mom and mentor. She's also a mentor of my mentors, Professor Chinedum Peace Babalola, the immediate past Vice-Chancellor of Chrisland University, Abeokuta, Ogun State. I warmly welcome you today and thank you most sincerely for accepting to speak at the 2025 edition of our International Women's Day. I welcome you to Thomas Adewumi University campus community, and I look forward to a day where you will come in person. The distinguished members of the TAU women community, we have the Olori Oloko of Okwerese, Olori Iyabo Olawuyi. We welcome you. She's a member of the Board of Trustees of the TAU women. I welcome our bossa, Mrs. Afolabi Rachel. Oh, thank you. And then our mothers and mentors, Dr. Fashiku, Mrs. Somonto Shaw, Mrs. Ade Mola Banks, Mrs. Mrs. Olubiyi, I beg your pardon. And then, of course, we have Mrs. Victoria Ino. I don't stop recognizing them because they are doing something so significant. I like to give example from my own immediate family. My mom retired, I think 2007 or thereabouts. I'll get the exact date. Since she retired, she has never worked for one day. We've tried everything. She'd rather just travel, go to the US, UK, visit me, visit my siblings. She said that there's a reason why governments made retirement after 35 years of service and or 65 years of age. That's so we cannot know better than those who made that rule. So since she's retired, she has refused to work. So, but we have these women who have trained their children, who have given their all for like 35 years or even up to 65 years of age, and they're still working actively, still building one of the strongest nursing science faculties in the country. So we should please appreciate their sacrifices. And their sacrifices is somehow significant to the event of today. The International Women's Day is an annual event. It started some centuries ago, and it's usually a day of celebration. The entire month of March is known as the Women's Month. But the 10th of March is, I beg your pardon, the 8th of March is specifically set aside as the International Day of the Women. It has always been a day of celebration, of achievement, of progress of the women folk worldwide. And that's why you also see a lot of events happen. This year alone, I've given 2 keynotes. I gave that of the Association of African Universities. I also gave that of the Women in AI. You see series of events for International Women's Day. But there's now something very significant about this year's event. It was like there was an awareness. What's going on? Every year we celebrate the IWD, we identify the achievements of women and all of that. But a study last year by the World Economic Forum identified that we'll have, Lily, what year was that? Before we can actually achieve women equity. 20 years. And we're going to have 5 generations, 2058 or thereabouts. But it's going to take 5 generations, 28, 51, 5 generations. So which means this our generation will go, our own children, the children of our children, the children of our children's children, and all of that before we can achieve women equality at the pace at which things are going. And that informed the theme of this year's International Women's Day. Accelerate action. When you hear accelerate, it means press the throttle, move faster. So it's like a kind of a reawakening or a call for women to double up, triple up, hurry up. We are celebrating too much. We're sleeping too much. We need to do more. We need to move faster. We need to apply more pressure to achieve women equity, to bring the date closer. So that maybe at the end of the day, if we start accelerating action, instead of 5 generations, it will get to 4 generations and 3 and 2, and maybe it can happen in our lifetime. That is the theme. Then for us here at TAU, the theme of this year is accelerate action, invest in women. So our plan is, our own way of accelerating action is to invest in women. We shall do everything to support the women folk. A staff met me late last week and said they don't have a house help. The oldest of their kids is 5 years. So when they close from school, they lock themselves in. I was like, what? That's risky. I mean, how can 5-year-old? I said, since anytime you want to leave, please let me. And I'm saying this to everyone, please let us support our women. We're doing so much. If a woman says, oh, my child is running temperature, I won't be able to come today, I need to take her to the hospital, it makes sense. But imagine a man saying, my child is sick, I won't be able to come to, everybody will look at it. You see, so there's so much burden on us. Then biologically, God Almighty has made us, has empowered us, in the sense that the humans are made up of 2 chromosomes. Our keynote speaker is a professor of pharmaceutical science, so she'll know this. And then we have people in biological sciences here too. The male is XY, the female is XX. Now, intelligence, longevity, physical strength, everything positive, they are in the X chromosome. So the X chromosome carries the entirety of humanity. And as women, we have double of that. That's why you see a set of twins, male, female. The female will do better. You see, there are higher male mortality than female. Despite that, the woman will carry children for 9 months, will bear children, will have 3-4 CS, will go into difficult labor, will back children, will breastfeed, do everything. They will still survive their male counterparts. It is because of that double strength, double dose of humanity. So this means that we can do it. We can do it. We have been empowered biologically, spiritually by the Almighty. It was no accident when He was creating humanity that He gave double strength, double dose to women, and then single to men. It is no accident. So we need to realize this potential in us and stop seeing ourselves as the weaker vessel. I think my Zoom, I can go off now. I joined because of the speaker. We should stop seeing ourselves as the weaker sex or no, we're not. We need to accelerate action to ensure women parity, women equality, to see, even if you cannot get equality, if you can get equity, to see that we stop becoming the token women. In the sense that they want to set up a committee, a very important committee, and then they start nominating qualified people. The first one may be a committee of 5. One professor, with Dr. Mr. And then we're like, wait, so gender balance, there is no female. And then they will now look at us, okay, let us add Amarachi. We're adding Amarachi, not because Amarachi is qualified, but because they just want to reserve that token. Let it not be that we didn't put a woman there. But let it be such that they want to have a 5-man committee and they start nominating Mrs., Miss, Professor, Mrs., Dr. Mrs. Be like, this is only a women affair now. Let's now add a male. Can we get that? Can we achieve that? It is in our hands. As CAU women, exactly this time last year, we launched the TAWI program. The essence of the CAU women is for us to make impact, to see how we can support the community where we're located. Okoidrosai is a rural place. But can we come together with all those, our double dose of humanity, double X thing? If we bring together all our double X, we'll do more than all the men that are like times 4 of us combined. But unfortunately, the program has not really been making as much impact as we would have wanted. And today at the principal officers meeting, we're taking certain steps to see how we can strengthen the TAU women. I can easily walk up to Olori and discuss matters that I see as private. She will understand it. But if I talk to him, I'll be like, it's not your maid. I just gave birth to quadruplets or triplets in my office and it's already coming to work. But she will understand more. And then also because we share physical attributes, I can easily identify with her. If I start going to a man to confide in him, the next thing will be like, it's like this lady is interested in me. You know? Yes. So we need to create those enabling environments also for our students to make ourselves available. It doesn't mean we have to be weak. We can still be very firm, but they know that, yes, Dr. Fashko will chastise me, but she will stand by me. We need to empower the community through our efforts. It may be difficult at the beginning because now this is an extra requirement from us, but I believe that we can do it. We just need to chip in those bits of commitment. Anything you give to a woman, it must multiply. So the little community we can bring in will actually have more impact than when the male do it. So on that note, again, I want to warmly welcome everyone. And I want to recognize our father, the Y in the room, the University Registrar, Mr. Fisoye Kolawole. Thank you so much. We appreciate your coming to join us on this very special location. And I want to thank all the wonderful women of TAU. There was a time I was practically the only woman at the senior level. Did we even ever have female lecturers in these? I think you were more or less the only female lecturer at some point, just the two of us. Then at management, it's always only me. We had the Kotu, we had the Usman as registrar, and then later Lois was librarian, doesn't really show up. And then later when the new librarian committee was Oyedokun. So it was always me until Mrs. Dr. Dancy came, and then we had more. Mrs. Odeyemi, those ones are not here with us, but I want us to also recognize the roles they play in ensuring that women are more strengthened, women are more seen and heard, not just being seen now, and then that women are more than just statistics in this university community. I also want to warmly welcome and thank Olori. Anytime we have an event and invite her, she's always here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So on that note, I will yield to the coordinator of the TAU Women, Mrs. Ezekiel. I want to thank you and the members of your team, Mrs. Olaoye, Lily Imas, Susan, Fumi, and everyone in the committee who are together. I mean, it was just an impromptu thing. I was like, are we not going to have an IWD event this year? And then they came together and put together this to thank you very much. And to also, again, thank our keynote speaker who accepted at such a short notice. She was not even in the country. But like I said, she's my mom. Whatever I asked of her, it was not convenient. She was like, this month is packed. I'll be like, Ma, okay, do it virtually. And then she's here today to honor us on this very special day. Thank you so much, ma, and welcome once again.
Thank you very much, ma. We are very grateful. So quickly, we don't want to keep our keynote speaker waiting. We want to introduce her and hear our citation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Profile of Professor Chinedum Peace Babalola. Chinedum Peace Babalola is an Hospital Pharmacy professional, educationist, researcher, administrator, mentor, and transformational leader who has spent decades of her life learning, building, and transforming lives, organizations, and institutions. She is the immediate past Vice-Chancellor of Christland University, Abeokuta, from 2017 to 2024, a professor of pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacokinetics, a past dean of Faculty of Pharmacy, an adjunct professor in Institute of Advanced Medical Research and Training, IAMRAT, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, and a specialist advisor and consultant in University College Hospital, UCH. She was trained at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife for Bachelor of Pharmacy, PPharm, MSc, and PhD degrees at University of British Columbia, Canada for postdoctoral fellowship at Kilimanjaro School of Pharmacy, Tusanian, and Purdue University, USA for postgraduate diploma in industrial pharmacy, advanced program training, high PAT, and at University of Benin for Doctor of Pharmacy, PharmD. In order to improve in her administrative and managerial skills, she went on to obtain postgraduate certificate in Advanced Managerial Program, AMP, from the prestigious Lagos Business School in 2021. For over 30 years, Babalola has focused on pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, pharmacogenetics, drug quality assurance, drug development, clinical trials, and bioethics as tools to study the disposition of several medicines, including antimalarials and anti-infectives in Nigerians, as a guide to optimizing therapy in Blacks. She has enjoyed over 30 grants and fellowships, including a MacArthur grant of $1 million to set up the Center for Drug Discovery, Development and Production, CDDP, in University of Ibadan, first of its kind in West Africa, for building capacity for Africans to discover, manufacture, and regulate their own medicines, and thus improve access to quality medicines. For over 25 years, Babalola has honed up her skills in administration alongside her career progression. She has served severally as sub-dean, head of department, director of centers, dean and vice-chancellor, where she has left transformational, innovative, and sustainable impact, footprints, and landmarks. Babalola's skills, contributions, and impact have earned her several recognitions, awards, fellowships, and many firsts in her career. She is the first female pharmacist to become professor and dean in University of Ibadan, first female pharmacist inducted Fellow Academy of Sciences, FAS, first female Nigerian inducted Fellow African Academy of Sciences, FAAS. She is also a fellow Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, FPSN, fellow Nigerian Academy of Pharmacy, FNA Pharm, fellow of West African Postgraduate College, FPC Pharm, fellow Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria, FIPAN, fellow Chartered Institute of Administrator, FCIA, among others. Babalola is the first female professor of University of Ibadan and the first female pharmacist in Nigeria to be appointed a vice-chancellor. She was selected twice, from year 2016 and year 2018. As one of the 10 most influential female scientists in Nigeria, she was selected by Women in Management, Business and Public Service, WIMBIZ, as one of the 5 female achievers in Nigeria in 2022. Chinedum Babalola has won a few prizes based on her academic and professional contributions. She is Thank you. Chinedum Babalola has won a few prizes based on academic and professional contributions. She is the winner of May and Baker Service Professional Prize for the Best Pharmacist in Nigeria in 2018. In 2019, Chinedum Peace Babalola became the recipient of the prestigious African Union Nkrumah Regional Prize for Scientific Excellence, marking her as an African Union laureate. As a Vice-Chancellor, Babalola applied a combination of strategic and transformational leadership to radically transform the upcoming private university, Christland University, from a very humble state to limelight. From a student population of less than 60, it grew to over 1,500 students. Obtained full verification and accreditation of all programs. Established over 15 new programs, 3 colleges, 1 faculty, and 5 centers of excellence, including nursing, doctor of physiotherapy, first to be accredited in Nigeria and Africa, medical laboratory science, law, and several others. She instituted entrepreneurship and innovation programs in the university's curriculum, such that each student of Christland University mandatorily graduates with a minimum of 2 certificates, namely. Babalola has well over 100 peer-reviewed publications in reputable outlets. She has supervised and mentored over 50 postgraduate students. Chinedum Babalola is happily married to a very supportive husband and minister of the gospel, Right Reverend Collins Olufemi Babalola, the Anglican Bishop of Ajayi Crowther Diocese, is saying, Oyo State, and the union is blessed with children. I therefore introduce to you no one else than an erudite scholar, seasoned academic, a mother, a woman, a visionary, an achiever, Professor Chinedum Peace Babalola.
Thank you very much. I was wondering, when will this end? I'm very, very grateful to you all, those watching virtually and those that are present. I see wonderful people here whom God has made in his image. And I'm really, really honored and humbled to be in your midst today. I observe all protocols, including, I think I had the name of a traditional ruler, I think. Whether that's it. I think there's somebody like that here. So I'm very, very honored to be here and to be invited. My friend, she always calls me mommy. Yes. And I appreciate that. I love you. I appreciate what you do. The first time I met her, I said, look at, this must be the youngest. Can you see my slides? Can you hear me, first of all?
Yes, we can.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, ma.
God bless you. Let me reduce the lighting where I am. I don't know. Am I clearer? Is my photo clearer or darker?
Yes, ma.
So I am glad to be here, and I really, really celebrate all of you, Thomas Adewumi University women, ably led by one of our best in the country. And so I do not take it for granted, like I said. By the time March 31 ends, I would have to count how many places I've given speeches. I thought after being a VC, I would just go and rest, but I'm being called here and there. And when she called me, I wanted to say no, but I cannot reject her. So I celebrate Professor Oladipo today. And I thank God for this opportunity. I also thank my husband. I think I'll mention him as we go on. So let's go to the lecture, Accelerating Action, Women Breaking the Glass Ceiling in Leadership and Academia. Before I start showing the slides, I want us to note that I know we talk about gender equality, gender equity, all the definitions are all over the place. But I want everyone here to know that God made them men and women, man and woman, and gave us opportunities. My opportunity may not be somebody else's opportunity. There's what we call SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the last speaker had mentioned it, XX chromosome, and then the fact that we still live longer despite. Women grapple with a lot. I won't tell you a lie, and I'm a witness. My daughter will say, I don't think my mom sleeps, and it is true. I tell myself I'm sleep deprived. It's not because I'm competing. I don't even compete with men. I do not compete with men. Neither do I even compete with women. What I do is to work hard, and then they tell you. I want to tell you a story. As a young person, yes, I love academia a lot. That's what my mom instilled in me, in all of us. She has zero tolerance for failure. So I was doing well. I even got scholarships in the pharmacy school. And I knew I'll be in academia. I told myself, by the time I'm 25, I should have my PhD. At 35, I should be a professor. That was my goal, the goal I set for myself. But it happened 10 years after. I didn't achieve that goal. All efforts, all struggles to achieve did not happen. They happened 10 years after. And when I look back, I have no regrets because God still fulfilled his plan for my life. So let's not kill ourselves over ambitions and everything. To start with, if we are married, God made us to be a helpmeet, I always tell young people, marry a man that will increase you, not diminish you. My husband, he didn't marry a professor. He married just me. I think I just had masters. Today, look at where I am. It's because I have a very supportive husband, and he's not a professor. He's even now trying to do his PhD. So everybody has a line to go. Just support one another. You can't be everything. I had many opportunities I didn't take because I'm a woman. And he too sacrificed. So it's dual. That's if you're married. These are my tips for you. So let's go on. So I have this I don't normally sometimes follow outlines, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. We want to celebrate Professor, wherever you are, let's clap for her, Professor Francis Oladipo. I want to see you clapping for her. She's a great woman, and she's young, and I'm amazed. I didn't want to bring her age here, but her age is online. She did her postdoc in MIT. Of course, she has a PhD. She trained on big data. Some things, tickled me. She introduced Python, a programming language, in her primary university. She was a director of research and innovation in Uganda. She's the executive coordinator for Vodan, all sorts of things. First female elected to the governing council of Federal University Lokoja. You can name her for so many things, and we celebrate you today, madam. She's young, and she's doing exceptionally well. Why this topic is important is women are underrepresented in top leadership and academic position. We're considering two things, and I focused on those two mainly. So breaking glass ceiling is essential for equality, innovation, and diverse perspectives. And we will explore the opportunities and the challenges. But today we are going to celebrate a lot of people who have excelled in life. Yes, we deal with statistics. Let me continue with glass ceiling. They are invisible. They are not visible. Invisible barriers preventing women from reaching top leadership role. There is a bias, that there is lack of mentorship, unequal opportunities, work-life balances. These are things that affect women breaking the glass ceiling. Women hold 10% of CEO jobs. They will always tell us at meetings, they will rise. But when it comes to the topmost, only very few. There are so many female professors. I don't know how many are vice-chancellors. So it's always like that. And then less than 30% full professorship role in academia. But that is changing. And then the gender pay gap persists in both sectors. Again, it depends on how you interpret it. Every professor earns the same thing in Nigeria, whether you're a woman or a man. The main differences are that we might be delayed. Some of us are delayed, some are not. And those that are delayed will be asking for parity. But when you look out, you will still see some benefits. The speaker will say, oh, my mom goes around babysitting. It's good. I wish I can do that. By this age, my mom had retired too and was going around. I wish I can retire and cross my legs. But it's not even easy to do that. So these are some of the issues with breaking glass ceiling. And I didn't have time. I started hearing glass ceiling when I became a vice-chancellor. I had admired one woman, late Professor Obaya. I admired her and my children went to Covenant. I just admired. I never really thought I'm not that ambitious. I never thought I'll be a vice-chancellor. No. It was never in my radar at all. So when I became a VC, I said she's going to be my mentor. And I started going to her. She started inviting me to meetings like this. Unfortunately, we lost her within a year. But what she did in Covenant University is yet to be equaled. It's just amazing. So these are some statistics that stare us in the face in terms of leadership. 27% women, 23% women, this one, 2%, all sorts of percentages. But in Nigeria, just women alone in this current assembly, they are less than 5%. And I read something today, WIMBY is even crying against women being maltreated in the current assembly, which we are all beholding. So these are the percentages in other countries, Rwanda, all those people. Some are 40-something%. You see Rwanda, 61%, South Africa, 46%, and so on. It just keeps going down and down. But all of them are higher than our 5% that we have here in Nigeria. So women, we need to wake up. But of course, the terrain is horrible. It's getting worse. It was better. Can you imagine? Politics was better than what it is now. How many of us can face the fierceness that is going on? How many women? There are times I face fierce conditions and I tell myself, oh, I'm a woman. Like someone who say, I can't come and die. I'm a woman. How many women can face what is going on in the political era right now? How many? I wish there was a way we can discuss that. These are some of there are so many information up there. 10 most powerful women, 21st century. These are their names: Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and all of that. Their names are here. Conjo, so on. I don't want to list them, but I kind of focused on Africa a lot. These are some of their faces. It's good to know their faces. I go to Tanzania a lot for some work I do. So you see Salif here, the first African. I want to single out those that are Nobel laureates. And one is Salif of Liberia. She paved way for democracy, the first African woman elected a president. The other one is this woman, Matthias. Matthias, she also won a Nobel Prize for Peace, and all she did was to champion Green Revolution. She's late now. She may not be educated as you and I. You don't have to be educated as you and I. Then we have Hassan, the current president of Tanzania. We have our novelist here, Chimamanda. I love this. It's always coming up every time. The pioneer women that went to University of Ibadan in Nigeria, and they all did well for themselves. We have Florence Gabriel, the Nigerian first female medical graduate. She became the first female director of Nigerian Health Management Board. We have Olusholape Ifaturotinia Kinkube, first entered at 19 and all that. She also is a doctor. Then we have Alele Williams. These were the four. See their faces. The first female VC. We have Ogunsheye. She's been celebrated a lot. She just turned, is it 94, 96 or so recently. See them here. She's the first, Ogunsheye is the first female professor in Nigeria. They were the first to enter university in Nigeria, and look at what they turned out to be. This is Alele Williams. She became a professor of mathematics education, and you know what she did in Uniben. They have faces. We have so many faces. These are our faces, fellows of African Academy of Sciences. In African Academy of Sciences, we have many faces. We have faces. Some people say we don't have voice. We do have voice. We do have faces. It's just that we're coming up. We now have, since 1960, only 38 out of 720 individuals have become vice-chancellors in Nigeria. Well, those of us that have been, we thank God. Whenever I think about it, look at the percentage. It's so low, very low. But it's coming up. It's coming up. Hope rising. In these challenging times, we recall the famous words of Helen Keller, a woman. Although the world is full of suffering, it's also full of overcoming it. It's also full of opportunities. We've never had more opportunity than this before. I'm going to talk a lot on resilience as I go on. We need to be resilient women. Women are resilient as historically we had to overcome many hurdles, and sometimes the same hurdle more than once. You give birth how many times? 4 or 5 times. It's a hurdle. This, Margaret Thatcher said, you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. When my PhD was horrible, I never wanted to study in Nigeria. All efforts to travel abroad failed. All failed. So I just gave up and then started my master's in between, got married, and the rest is story. It didn't go at my pace. These are women laureates. I don't have time, but just to let you know that we have women from 1901 to 2020, there are 58. I don't have the most recent, there are 58 of them. Then I come to UNESCO L'Oreal. This morning, L'Oreal, UNESCO, they choose the five best scientists in the whole world. I think every year or every other year. One of the first persons that won it is a Nigerian, and that is Professor Grace Taylor. She won this in 1998. This money is $100,000. Of is my desire to win it. You know what $100,000 is? So when she won it, it didn't make noise. Then they advertised it again. I think they had just started. And she had a mentee. And she went to that mentee and recommended that she should apply. And that mentee of hers is my own mentor. Can you imagine? So two of us, we struggled in those days. That's Professor Falusi. If you see how we struggled, because the internet and all that, they were not that well developed. Professor Falusi is my mentor for life. So I helped her. We were closing late to package this award. And that was in 2001. And she won it. She's a laureate. Is a United Nations award. They choose the best 5 in the whole world. I cannot begin to mention the benefits of this award. I've tried it a number of times. I've not won it too. I wish I can. Only 3 Nigerian women have won it. Oladuni Taylor, Professor Falusi is my own mentor. And look at all that she does. She's going to be 80 in 2 months' time. She's still active, working, doing grants, doing NGO, doing SCAP. She's the professor of genetics and professor of sickle cell. You can Google her. The third Nigerian is Professor Francisca Okeke, a professor of physics from UNN. You know, this woman her teacher married her. She married as a teenager. She was a secondary school girl. And her husband married her. In her husband's house, she went to university. In her husband's house, she had 5-6 children. In her husband's house, she entered academia. In her husband's house, she's a laureate. She married at around 18. She's my friend. We're in FAS together. So they also have women, young women researchers. They support, L'Oreal supports researchers, and this is one of them. She's now a professor, Eukarya. Oluchinwich, doing fantastically well. Go to her website. She is a woman that we're looking up to now, very young and coming up very strong. The stages of development in women, you see our curve. That's our curve, and it's natural. You cannot kill yourself about it, So, sorry, this is small. In 2022, we always hear women in business. WIMBIZ is where to be. If you go to WIMBIZ meeting, you see all the wonderful women, not only in Nigeria, not only in Africa, in the whole world. That's where you see women of women. I was shocked in 2022. They came calling and they chose 5 women in Nigeria and honored them. That year, the honor was not for business people. It was for women in academia. Look at me. I was the youngest. See all those people. See that Ogunsheye is there. Professor Bolanle Awe, Professor Jack. These are in their 80s and 90s. I was the youngest, and I kept asking, what qualified me? Only God knows at that honor. Thank God they remembered women in academia. So we have challenges. Those of us in academia and women generally, we have our challenges. You go through your menstrual cycle, pregnancy, all sorts of things that we want to fight. Women have challenges. We deal with balance. These days, you deal with harassment. Women do face sexual harassment, directly or indirectly. You face it all the time. You just have to handle it. So we need to empower our women on how to handle it. We face sexual harassment in academia. We do. Even me, if I tell my own stories, but God just helped us out of those things. Men will always want to run after women and things like that, but they're always coping. You don't have to bow. I never bowed. So these are challenges we face. Some people say there's bias in review. I don't know, but we do have things like lack of role model, poor mentorship. Yes, we do have favoritism. I can tell you that in the university system, if the management likes certain women, they will always be in authority. It's just like we have politics today. It does happen. Favoritism is there. So now we talk about confidence levels. We need to build our confidence levels. We have 3: low confidence level, optimal, overconfidence. The best way to be is optimal. That's the best place to be. What we should do. I told you I'm going to talk about resilience. I hope I'm being heard. I didn't check my phone. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, ma.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, my dear VC, if there's anything, my phone is near me here. You can just chat me up. So, the solution to some of these our challenges is resilience. Resilience. I can call it many times. And I think that's what has helped me. Resilience, ability to adjust to adversity, maintain equilibrium, retain or regain some sense of control over the environment, and continue to move positively. Resilience is the ability to cope with life's ups and downs, to overcome stress and bounce back. I do a lot. I'm a full-time pastor's wife, now bishop's wife. I'm a full-time academic, and it has always been like that. I married a full-time minister of God from day one. So I've always had 2 full-time jobs, in quote. I'm not paid for one. I'm paid for the other. I use what I even get from the other to support the other. That's what my life is. So recently, I'm part of the TED Fund committee, and we're giving proposals to review. I had so much in my plate. I did this sleepless nights, but I couldn't meet. They were not that harsh. They were so harsh, and they refused. I only was 2 hours or few hours late in my submission, and I was checked out. All the effort, sleepless nights. I was able to submit maybe, I don't know whether I submitted up to half of what I was given before the shutdown. I believe they were really, really too harsh. This is one time I felt that women, they were not fair on women or people like us. They should have been kinder, but the world does not smile at you. So there's a deadline. So I learned a very hard lesson, because you are paid for it. You are paid for it. So yesterday I received my alert. I know it's half of it that I received, but I'm not going to stay in that. I'll bounce back. Ability to cope with life's ups and downs and bounce back. All right, features of resilience: self-esteem, self-efficacy, self-confidence. Sometimes I look back and say, is it Chinedum that did this? How to take risks. Risk-taking, low fear of failure, high tolerance for uncertainty. Uncertainties will happen. Things do happen. Life happens to people. And so you have to be able to accommodate it. So these 3 things, if you have a note, please note these 3 things: self-esteem, self-efficacy, self-confidence. Those are the things you need. We're talking about resilience. That's my message for us today. I've defined this already. What are the features? Strategic thinking. Think what's happening. Social awareness. I don't joke with that. Anywhere you give me to lead, anywhere I lead is transformational. I'm aware of what is happening. I go around, I check, I go to the hostels, I do also, I monitor. I look for the gaps. Relationship management is tough. I tell people that one thing that will send people to hell is relationship, with husband, with friends, everybody. Relationship is the toughest in life for anybody, whether man or woman. And it's worse, it's tougher for women. We are more sentimental. So relationship management, it affects us, our moods, everything. To me, that's the most difficult. Building influential networks, credibility, courage, and all that. Am I being stopped? I'm hearing a noise. Okay. So, these are the features of resilience. Don't worry, we'll get my slides. Why resilience is important. They may need to adapt in the face of adversity. Their identities are multiple and complex. Expectations to switch between roles, which requires resilience. You switch from being a mother to being a wife, to being an employee, to being VC, to being this one, to being a researcher, to writing paper, just one person. And sometimes when you have house helps, they're also under you, factors that determine, sorry, it's academia I should have been putting there. One of the factors that determine resilience is your individual experiences. What have you experienced? Your environment, balance of risk and protective factors. Many times our individual experiences, they affect us more than anything. We keep referring to it. Women will not forget. You've been hurt. Many times we are hurt by our spouses or by in-laws or something, or by lecturers. I remember how when my PhD that I finished in 4 years, I got it after 7 years. One strike or the other, or they just do. I submitted. In 94, my degree was awarded 97 at a point. I went to the dean of PhD school. I said, I'm not doing again. Mishimo, I'm not doing again. Take your PhD. All sorts of experiences. Environmental factors you have no control over. They do happen. Yesterday, I had one of my friends in the ministry, their whole house was burnt by fire. You can imagine. How do you do it? My mentor, after she wrote her PhD and going from upstairs, downstairs, somebody said, let me carry your bag till tomorrow. She never saw her data for her PhD. She has to start PhD afresh. What are you going to do? And today she's a L'Oreal winner. And the research she did a different research, and that's what won her that award. If she said, I'm not doing again, she's already doing PhD after she has had her children. Maybe her husband has become professor because she started PhD. She has won awards and her husband has not won. Okay, so confidence does not come when you have the answers, but it comes when you are ready to face all questions. You have to face it. You don't run away. Sorry, practical, not practical. Of building resilience. Be ready to learn. Be a lifelong learner. If in the academia, for us, I'm focusing so much on that, you have to keep learning how to write grants. In this state fund that I am in, the university that writes the best grants is FUTA. If you pick up anything they write, you just know that it's fantastic. So one is they've been teaching them their staff how to write grants. They write fantastic grant proposals. And so it's hard for them to fail grant writing. So learn it and to become an expert. Prioritize relationship. I've talked about that. Find good people to relate with. Join groups. If it's leadership, join supportive groups. I think it's high time we female vice-chancellors, organize supportive groups for people. Then have a supportive family and community if it's possible. Other practical steps, sorry about this wrong spelling. When you help others, it gives you some satisfaction. So help others. Be proactive, accept your emotions during hard time, but foster self-discovery. What can I do about a problem? If the problem is too big, break them into sizes and wait for people. Then there's a cycle I have here. You must have a goal to start with. If you don't have a goal, then you are failing. I had goals. I didn't meet them, but I kept them. I kept my goals and I achieved them. I have goals. I do have goals. Even as a VC, I had my 7 strategic goals. And by the time I was leaving, I had fulfilled at least 90%. Those I couldn't fulfill were environmental, natural. I couldn't because I'm not the owner of the university. If I was the owner of the university, I'd say 1,005. We would have had 5,000 students and more. Would have had more students. So define your goal, implement them in tiny steps, measure your result. I measured my result. Change and adapt. So develop some goals, do something regularly. What's one thing I know I can accomplish today? that will help me achieve that goal. Like me, there's a book or 2 books I want to write. I'm being lazy about it, but I have to start. I don't know how I wrote practical like this. That's terrible. Okay. Maintain, be hopeful, learn from the past. Every time, if I'm facing challenges, maybe with relationship, I go back. Is there anything I did wrong? And I ask myself questions. What should I learn from it? Always learn from experiences. There are expectations, but you must accept balance. Don't, because of expectation, lose your balance. You must accept balance despite the expectations. Life, work, balance. This one is not balanced. You can see this one is balanced. This is not balanced. Okay, sorry. This one is not balanced. This is balanced. Thank God I got practical here. I don't know why I missed it there. So to balance, you set goals, consult widely. I consult a lot. I ask a lot of questions. I talk to people a lot. Don't compare yourself. I've not done that, because when we come into academia, most times I'm about the only one whose husband is bishop or something, full time. I move from house to house. In the Anglican communion, they transfer you here, they transfer you here, they transfer you to this city. I'm now living at Isane. You know what I mean? So I don't compare myself with other professors. I always say my own case is different. So understand it. My own case is different. So don't compare. You will die. Don't compare yourself with others. Understand yourself. And then prioritize, delegate. Some say they don't have house help. God bless them all. I have house help. I always pray, God, give me good ones. And what I do is I train them. Some of them they stay 10, 20, 15 years. I pick them when they cannot say ABC, and I send them to school. They all go to school. They come out better. Some are going to universities and all of that. So I train them when they are with us. 1 or 2 years, sometimes immediately, sometimes 1 or 2 years. Support groups, if it's possible. Accept balance that you have. Accept it. Cater to your own needs. Don't kill yourself. The other thing I will mention as I'm closing is mentorship. Me, I'm a product of mentorship. My years at Ife, I lacked mentors. I didn't have mentors. It was after my PhD I moved to UI because family was also moving. So these are issues you need to take into consideration. So I moved to UI. Now we are in Isenya, and I'm in Isenya. From Isenya, I go to UI. So, but mentorship helped me in UI. So being mentored by female researchers and leaders, pardon me that I'm using a lot of academic words here, goes a long way in building confidence and resilience, because you're looking up to somebody. It aids your grants, your writing, and all of that. The laureate I got was because my mentor recommended me. That's why, if you see the recommendation, I saw her recommendation after I won the prize. I think she did the recommendation and submitted. My head swelled up. You mean this is what she thinks about me? So I've benefited a lot from mentorship. I've won many grants. These are just a few, but these also now have mentees. So we have a tree, and my mentees have also benefited from my grants. I'll talk about them later on. So it's crucial. Like my mentor is Professor Falusi. At over 75, she will be 80 in the next. We are planning her 80th birthday. I'm the one behind it. She will write something, she will send, because at some point your mentees will be better than you. They are more current, so you depend on them. So she depends on me a lot for so many things. I still learn from her. So having a mentor who pulls you up and carries you along is essential. This is my message all the time. My 2 major messages today: resilience and mentorship. Just catch those 2. They are catalysts in your life, So I've benefited a lot from mentorship and collaboration. It has made me to publish in Nature. There's another where collaborator, no mentor, Professor Ade. Interestingly, she's an in-law to Professor Fallacy. So assuming I wasn't working with Professor Fallacy, I wouldn't know Olopade. It's always like that. So through Olopade, we've done a lot on breast cancer. My name has appeared in Nature and very fantastic papers, you know. I've also collaborated with people. I've won a 1 million grants, which I headed. There was a time I wasn't a professor. I was not qualified for a particular grants, million naira, not dollar. I won a $1 million grant. And so I told my mentor, you be the PI, let me be the bottom person. And because she's a professor, she became PI. It was my project quite all right, but we'll do some in her lab. And we won that grant. So mentorship helps a lot. It has helped me a lot. It makes you to innovate, you link, you win prizes, you know, they believe in you and all that. Look at some of the research I've done because I'm linked with Professor Lopade. Look at some of them, you know. So some female mentees, I didn't choose my female mentees. Not your supervisees are not necessarily your mentees. A supervisor may not be your mentor. So please note that too. There are different things altogether. My supervisors are not my mentors. And not all the people I supervise are my mentees. Some are, some are not. So when you look at these names, I looked back after a while, I saw that all my PhD students are women. I didn't plan it. How come all of them are women? And some struggled with their PhDs because they are married, they faced stuff, some had depression. I was patient. Maybe because I also had to face a lot of delays that was not made by me. John, I did my postdoc before I defended my PhD while waiting, you know. So these are my mentees. This is my second order. Anything, I'm not around Dr. Kotila. Everything I have, she has. Because they are my mentees, these people have gone the world. They studied abroad. They did all sorts of things. Just last week, she went to represent me in Tanzania. While I was in South Africa, I was supposed to go to Tanzania. I said, well, Kotila, go. You know. So they benefit. This one is a story. I can talk about her for an hour. She rose from grass to grace. In her family, one of the poorest families in this country is where she comes from. And the only female out of maybe 5 children. She's the only one that went to school. All those brothers didn't go to school. Then she lost her mother. I don't think she knew her father. Lost her father. The mother that was helping her died when she was in secondary school. She used to go and fetch firewood to go to secondary school. She found herself in the university. Sometimes she would not have money to come back. She lived on dole outs. She managed to pass, did well in chemistry. She found herself in UI. And they just posted people, this is your supervisor. And she just landed on me. One of the most brilliant people. From being that poor student for her PhD, because she worked under one of my grants, she traveled 3-4 times. She went to US twice. She went to fantastic labs. And as I'm talking, in the next 1 month, she's going again for 1 year. She's lecturing in this city. She's been a success story. This woman, this young lady. In short, through me, she got a husband that she married. Through my association, she's a celebrity. She didn't have anything. Poorest, I cannot tell you how poor, but today, she tours the world, through mentoring. So again, my mentor. Oh, I'm already finished. So finishing, sorry. Today I said I've been talking a lot on women programs. I've never celebrated my mom. So when I was preparing, I said I will celebrate my mom. Lady Mrs. Adewumi. She died at 80 in 2015. She was a head teacher. She was a coach, mentor. My mom ran for Nigeria. Just like you hear this, but she was the sprinter for Nigeria. 100 meters, they call her yards, 100 yards, 200 yards. In those days, she ran even outside the country for Nigeria. Well, she married, she became so humble that you won't even hear her voice. So at the turn of the century, 2000, her name was listed as one of those who shaped Nigeria, this woman. But she wouldn't hear her voice. Whenever I look at her, I say, this woman would have been a professor. If you see her handwriting, if you see her her aim in life was, she gave birth to 5 of us. That by the time where she gave birth to 5 of us in 6 years, 6 years, 3 months, she kept having children because they were looking for a boy. Nigerian fact. She said one day the father took her to the altar and said, God, don't let my daughter die. And I don't know how God stopped her at 5. So she had 4 girls, 1 boy. Disciplinarian. While she was coaching us, my dad has a PhD, retired as a lecturer. He's still alive. He's 92. These are the last photos they took before my mom passed. And her goal in life was that by primary 3, each of us should be able to read and write in English, and each of us should be able to read English Bible and Igbo Bible. That was her. She had that goal. She coached me for common entrance, federal government college entrance. She's a disciplinarian, 0 tolerance for failure. One time I had weak pass. She caned me. I weaved on my pants, and that was the end. I started coming first, at least first 3. But something she did I won't forget. So she said, the money is there. She was my coach. I didn't have any lesson teacher. I used to complete 1 exercise book of maths every day. Every day. She used to take house help. So you people should read. After all of us went to university and all that, she stopped having house help. So I'll finish 1 exercise book of maths every day. God help me if I don't. So she said, go and take the money if you know you will pass for federal entrance. I was afraid. I took the money, I registered. Then the result came out. She opened the newspaper. They used to publish it in the newspaper. And she didn't see my name. I said, I don't die today. She said, registration number. I gave her my registration number. This woman went through the newspaper, the federal government for the whole country. She went with my number and she identified my number. And they put another person's name. She believed so much in me that I would have passed. They put another person's name. And so my dad had to go to Lagos and Federal Ministry of Education. My name is Chinedum. So at the point I had to put a name. So my name is a male name. They put another person. And they said I was the one that really passed. But so they sorted it. So at the end, I had 2 admissions, Federal Government College, Enugu, Federal Government Girls College, Owerri. But I had resumed in Enugu. If not her, I won't go to Federal Government College. I probably will not meet all the wonderful people. I probably will not marry a Yoruba man. I probably, you know what I mean? She did a lot. She's a great woman. And I thank her for bringing me up. I celebrate her today. And on that note, I say ways forward. Women should encourage women. We should come together. Have a subunit of women fellows as mentors or vice-chancellors, whatever, or politicians. We should we should form groups. We have OWSD. We should network. We should mentor in science and leadership. Or academia and leadership. Sorry that I'm using science. I do a lot of women in science. We could be women in academia. Let's celebrate them more and more. We should be more visible. We can use virtual means for our meetings if we are busy, and all that. So we need more funding, and there are more funding. There are opportunities. I see them every time. And then, in conclusion, let us join together, support and mentor women in your field, advocate for policy changes where necessary, challenge gender biases, please do. Encourage each other and celebrate. Breaking the glass limits benefits all of us. All of us. It's a collective action. So collective action accelerates change. Together we can create a future where leadership reflects all our voices. I want to thank you. At the end of it, I would like to say a winner is not the one who never fails, but the one who never quits. That's a quote. Thank you, and thank you. I don't know. Did you hear me? Jesus Christ.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much, Prof.
Okay, I didn't hear any voice.
Well done.
Sorry, I rushed because they gave me time. I hope I wasn't too fast.
No, this was
No, you weren't.
wonderful. We want to say a very big thank you, Ma. Thank you for your time and thank you for this session. I want to believe everyone here really gained a lot, and this is a wonderful call to action, and I'm very sure that we're going to utilize everything. And I want to request that you please share your slide with us so that we can go over it again and again. And
Yeah, you're free. I don't hide my slides anywhere.
thank
You are
you
free
very
to post
much,
it on
Ma.
your website if you wanna.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Sure,
I want to say a very
I've
big thank you.
asked that you send your email so that I can forward.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you.